I'm getting ready to sit down with Lisa Loeb last week, and
Nice.
we're doing Elvis Costello. My aim is true, or your aim is true, whatever that album's called.
Mm-hmm.
And Avery hits me up and says that Paul McCartney is playing the Bowery Ballroom.
Yep. I know all
So
about it.
yeah, so I know you know, and so I start sending out texts, but I can't do anything because you have to go down there to get tickets, and obviously I have to tape for the next hour, and I know for a fact the second I finish that podcast, the tickets are gone 10
Right.
minutes,
Yeah.
So I start reaching out to every person that I think can get me the a ticket. I got to be careful because I don't want to pop my peas on this thing, so I got to be very conscious about this mic. And so everybody is coming back either no or just like I'll check. I reach out to one guy and he goes, "Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one, but let me see what I can do." And he was probably my closest because he was the biggest. He knew the most people, and I reach out to my buddy Zach, who's a member of the band Shinedown, which is this like huge band in like the Midwest. They're an arena rock band. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
In the rock radio and everything, but I didn't get to know them until I started hanging out with Jelly, and he's friends with Zach. And I just send a Hail Mary to Zach, and he's a guitarist, and we had hung out a few weeks earlier with Chris Porter, and he goes, "Let me see what I can do, but man, it's gonna be tough." And then an hour later, he calls me, he goes, "All right, I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news is you're not going tonight. I can't do anything about tonight." But I got in touch with Paul's, I don't know if it was his manager or her assistant or something, and she goes, "Good news is Paul's doing 2 more shows at the Bowery."
Of course.
He goes, "There's a good chance tomorrow night." So I do my thing. Next day comes. We're at Wednesday. I'm blah, blah, blahing the whole day. I'm at the gym. It's 5 o'clock. I still reached out to all those other people and nobody came through. I reach out to Zach. I say, "So any word?" He goes, "Let me check." And then he calls me and he says, "Dude, you got 2 tickets waiting for you, $50 a piece. You got paying cash. You're on the list. Go to this thing and do that." And I mean, of course, I'm just like, "What can I do for you?" This guy's a multimillionaire, so he doesn't need anything from me. And I'm just like, "Please, like, I'm going to figure out something, Wayne, to do for him."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do something. Because, dude, the cool thing, then I text Burr. He's in town doing Glengarry Glen Ross. He immediately gets back to me. He goes, "Dude, I got plans. I'm going to Bob Odenkirk's movie premiere." But then there's like a ... And I'm waiting. And he goes, "But I got to go to Paul, right?" And I go, "Yeah, dude, this is..." Like Bob will understand. You know what I mean? This isn't like just Paul McCartney at.
You don't have to convince me. Don't
I
have
know
to.
you. I know you know. I know
Yeah.
you know. And that's why I'm opening with this. And so he goes, "I'm in. Meet me at 6." He goes, "Get whatever drugs we can," which is weed and mushrooms, but really just weed. We ride down there. I meet him there. There's a line out the door. There's this guy. I wish I remember his name because I've seen this dude at almost every concert I go to. He's a real trooper. I want to give him a shout out to one of these pods because I keep running into him and he's a cool dude. I think he's from like Belgium. Real sweet guy. He can't get in. Bill shows up. Dude, let me tell you something, Wayne. I've never been more nervous than when they were looking for my name on that list. Do you know what I mean? Because they couldn't find it right away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, no, they had it under Adam Meyers. So I'm like, "I'm Josh." And they're like, "There's no Josh." And they're like, "Oh, there's an Adam Meyers." I go, "That's me, Josh Adam Meyers." And we go down, pay the $50. I treat, obviously.
Yeah.
And dude, this is what's cool. I go, "We got to get upstairs because it's going to be crazy." We walk upstairs. It's literally 10 minutes before he's about to go on. The room's half sold. He only sold half the room. You know why? And I get it. He wanted everybody to be comfortable. He didn't want this to be crazy. I can only assume an 82-year-old man,
right.
And dude, if you look up, we're on the floor with everybody. If you look up in the rafters, it's a who's who of dude. Elvis
I know
Costello.
the SNL. I know the SNL.
But dude, I think it was even, you have Anne Hathaway, Jerry Seinfeld, Carol Leifert, you have Sean Lennon, Yoko Lennon, fucking Little Steven, Amy Schumer, the owner of the Patriots is there, Robert Kraft, with the hottie, dude. It's just the who's who, and me and Burr are down on the floor, and it was magical. He opens with "Can't Buy Me Love," and then he did about 80% Beatles, 15% wings, and then 5% I couldn't place it. And now here's the coolest shit. This is why I love this podcast. Is so the day before we did Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True. I see Elvis up there. I've got the pink hair now, right? So I stick out, obviously. I'm looking at him. He looks at me. I give him the I love you. He goes
the fist.
Like rock respect fist.
You sure it wasn't Black Panther Party 1971?
He was
Oakland. Okay. But it was a fist. It could have been rock. Yeah.
It was rock. It was rock fist. Man, it was just an amazing night. Me and Bill just had the best time ever. It made me so happy because I was the one that got it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It feels good.
Place. Yeah.
And also it's like it's a once in a lifetime thing. And my sister's birthday was like the day before. And I thought for a moment, because I'm bringing Bill, I was like, dude, they're going to see him. We're going to go backstage. We're going to meet Paul. None of that happened. We snuck out. Cool thing. Sidebar.
Yep. Are you allowed?
Okay.
I'll allow it.
So happy you're here, by the way, dude. I don't. You're coming a lot. You're on this a lot now.
I know.
Emily's slipping, but I'll take it, dude. This is like it's like all right. Well, we couldn't get you pizza, but we got you cheeseburgers. Oh, it's just as delicious. Perfect. So sidebar, I look behind us and Matt Stone from South Park is hanging out.
Yeah.
And as we leave, everybody is just like, we're all talking to one another. Like, can you believe we just saw that? Isn't that the coolest thing? We're glowing. And Matt and Bill recognize one another. They start talking. We sit down with Matt, talk for a half hour at the bar. He's the coolest guy you could ever fucking think he would ever be.
Yeah.
He plays drums. Bill pitches my show to him. He goes, well, it just so happens I have a lockout in Tribeca. Let's jam when we're all back in town in a week. So we got a date to hang out. I exchanged numbers. He's going to do the jam. And I mean, it was crazy too, Wayne. And I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I haven't, but I've been
convergence. What a great convergence.
Well, I'd been really depressed, man. I'd been really depressed. Yeah. I was in a really.
Okay. That explains the hair. I get it now.
I mean, yeah, dude. It's we do
That's
stuff
from the inside. It's on the outside now.
Yeah, I'd been really depressed, and because I was smoking cigarettes, and I was just really not taking care of myself, and like, that was one of those things that really brought me out of it. And then that night, well, not that night, on Saturday when I quit smoking, dude, I came up with a TV show idea. I'm casting you in it as my manager in the show.
Love it.
It's gonna get made. I'll pitch it off air.
Okay.
It is 100% going to get bought. Burr's going to executive produce it. It is going.
Does he know the idea?
He doesn't. We pitched him the idea. He loves the idea. He loves it. He will. I know he will executive produce it. It's right up his alley too. It's about a one-hit wonder. It's great. Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. Okay. You'll love it. But I said, I got to have a wacky, zany manager, and I go, Fetty Wap.
If I'm that wacky.
You're not wacky, but it was between you and Todd Glass, and I go, right. I'm going Federman.
Thank you for thinking.
He needs the work.
Okay, that's what's dripping off of me.
Bill also mentioned he had gone to see the Led Zeppelin documentary too, and he said the same stuff that you had said.
Yeah. But yeah, I know Burr is as big as Zeppelin.
I think he's.
I am.
Yeah.
Maybe even more, right?
I think he is. That's what I was trying to get to. I think he is. I think I mean, dude, he went as John Bonham for Halloween, and that was why when he did the first jam, he dressed. Yeah, he had the whole outfit from Song Remains the Same.
He has the drum kit. He has the green drum kit.
He bought it. Yeah, and then he got rid of it. He sold it.
He did?
He did sell it, yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they get bottomized like that, they get
bottomized.
They get the clear. They get the Ludwig whatever, the golden clear one. But he got the green one. I was like, that's the best.
I know it is.
That is the best. The one in between. So good.
With the ha and the he and the mashbuch. Did you watch the SNL, any of that stuff? Did you watch it?
Of course. I watched that. big TV. There was that. The NBA All-Star Weekend was also this
Oh,
weekend.
you're not watching that, are you? The All-Star Weekend, it's garbage.
I love the garbage. I love it.
Really?
Feed me more. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. Yeah, it's so good. So good. And then also there was maybe the most exciting hockey game I've seen in years. You know anything about this?
USA Canada or USA
Yeah.
World? Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
watch it, but I'm on a text chain with big shout out to Yellow Fleece, Greg Chait, one of my brothers, and my friend Andrew Needleman, who I've been on a text chain with those two guys for
Right.
20 years at least 20 years. And we talk sports, we talk movies, we talk politics.
And I'm not a hockey guy, but this was insane.
It was that good.
It was insane. I've never, Canada's not happy with this, but Montreal is the most anti-American part of Canada.
Of course. They hate us.
Yeah. They hate the rest of Canada, let alone America. So so this is what happened real quickly before we get to
Go ahead. We do. This is people want us to talk.
I've never seen this. They sang the national anthem. They had a guy sing the national anthem, booing during the entire anthem from the whole crowd in Montreal.
Wow.
Booing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Usually they at least show the respect, but
yeah, they do or shut up or boo at the end or something like, or don't applaud. But I have never seen full on boo. It's literally, it was like when Sinead O'Connor went to, there's a famous Bob Dylan 30th anniversary concert at Madison Square Garden. This is after she had ripped that picture of the Pope. Later, of course, she's a hero, but at the time, and when she came out, they just booed her. They kind of booed her off stage, and it reminded me of that. It was, and then the USA won in Canada, and anyway, it was super intense.
Can we also say this? I bet that's crazy. It must have been weird if you were an American there. You know how angry you could.
Yeah, you're looking around like
we didn't all vote for the guy, and we're not. But it's like, and it sucks that he's the guy they just assume speaks for all of us. And listen, if he gets rid of income tax, I'm going to be the biggest Trump fan in the fucking world, dude. Gotcha. But Sinead, the Sinead stuff, man, that you brought that up, she's a real rock star, man. I really love her. We did her album on the pod. Yeah. I fucking fell in love with her.
She's passed away. Is that correct?
She did. Yeah.
Yeah. So
she did pass away. But man, if you didn't listen to that, this is to all the Fleece Army out there. If you haven't listened to the album, or you haven't listened to the pod, it was during the pandemic, right at the beginning. God, I'm popping the peas. I'm sorry. There's a guy that messaged me about popping the peas. I gotta be careful with it. When I'm on the road, everybody, I got a shitty mic. Jeremiah,
you can't get a mic cover for that?
You know what I could do? I could put like a napkin or something on it.
Okay, that's gonna be worse.
T-shirt, a sock. I'll put a sock. Hold on.
Say sock.
Sock
is what you do.
Yeah. Certainly not a napkin. Suddenly I'm Glenn Johns. I'm an engineer. I'm a producer. Suddenly I'm Mickey Mouse. I'm in this world. I'm in this 60s, late 60s, early 70s, England.
Oh, I'm so excited that it's you, Wayne.
Music producer. All right, brother. I was a little worried when I saw the red hair. I'm like, is this it? Is this where they're about to get? What's going on inside? Because that is not.
What are you talking about? P. Am I popping the peas?
I think it's a little better.
I think it is too. What do you think, Bri? Black Bri? He's a black guy. Do you know that? He's a DEI hire.
He is not.
Yeah, he was.
He got this whole podcast up and going, man. Thank you.
God. I love you, Brian. Brian's gone. He doesn't even pay attention.
He doesn't care.
I identify as white. Thank you very much.
What?
Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with that. And dude, well, I feel like we should talk about it because it's me and you, and we can do it when we sit down with Morty. So everybody, we're doing something. Me, Wayne, and Morty are it's a great idea. I think it's gonna be
now. Just again, I'm not in this world that much. It's just for the Patreon
for now. Yeah, but dude, if we're
eventually go up.
I think so. I think it could be. I think this should be a podcast. I think we talked about me and Morty, because he's one of my best friends. I love him. He's my brother.
I love him. I just saw him at the Kibitz.
I know, and he mentioned that he's like, we're doing a thing, and you were like, yeah, and that's big. One, that you went out of the house.
Yes.
Two, that you're doing a thing.
I think I got a name for the podcast with Morty. It's Word in Edgewise.
He's gonna do well, I think.
He's so smart.
I told him he knows, but that's why he's special. But we got great ideas. I love he's saying like we pick like some episodes we pick a song and we try to argue about like what's the best song over a movie, like from a scene.
That's interesting. Yeah,
and
that.
We bring one in and we all talk and discuss it and argue.
Right.
And we're all different. You're old. You're about 10. You're about what? Your generation. Are you a baby boomer?
Unfortunately, I'm at the end of the baby boom. Yeah, I know it sounds weird.
He's Gen X. I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X too, but I'm right there at the millennial. So
yeah. I'm like the way you are with the millennial is the way I am with the Gen X. Like I'm right at the beginning of it. But
so we're all like you're here, I'm here. So we're all like, and it's three different perspectives. We're so different. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I just want to do it because it gives me a chance to keep spending time with you. And I already see Morty on a regular basis, but I don't see you on a regular basis. So even though Emily, we were trying I forget who we had for this. And then last second, it just fucking fell through.
Really?
Yeah. But this is Rod.
Right.
This should have been.
I've seen him live. I know a lot about this guy.
So do you wanted to?
By the way, his name is, and at the time he was known as Rod the Mod. Did you know that?
I don't know anything about him other than he removed ribs so he could suck his own dick.
Okay, that I don't know anything about. So this is a perfect.
Again,
we're different generations. I'm focusing on the songs, the songwriters, the producers. You have some. Yeah.
So why don't?
By the way, before we even start, can I just say Rod the Mod Stewart, in my opinion, along with David Bowie and Mick Jagger, best hair for frontman, and I guess Robert Plant also.
Sure. I mean, I think like he's got his own. It's really funny because it's like it got stolen by the emo generation.
Yeah,
that so like good. Poof and then like down.
Yeah, I love him.
You've always been a fan of Rod Stewart, like you.
This is very quickly. Let's do it real quick. We have a hard out, right?
We do have a hard out. We could go. I do. Which you should come by. You got anything tonight? You doing anything?
Can we just?
All right, do good. Okay, go
ahead. All right. So Rod the Mod.
Please
Stewart.
no. Please no.
Okay, so Rod the Mod Stewart is an interesting character in all of this, and he's connected to so many episodes that we've already done already.
Okay,
and I'll show you how he all weaves into the whole thing.
Please weave it along.
He's like a rock star that became a crooner, like a singer who just sings cover songs, and especially what's called American Songbook, which is basically from the 20s to the 50s, pre-rock and roll music, all of the Cole Porter, all of that. Kind of Urban Berlin.
Now, not to interject, but they do that because it's all the music is fair use, right?
No,
it's not. Oh, I thought they were all doing it just to make an extra dollar and it's fair use.
No, this is like baby boomer, almost like I even think it's even older than baby boomer music. Like baby boomer music to me is like the Beatles, the Stones, all of that. So maybe a little Elvis, but this is pre rock and roll music. He released if I'm not mistaken, I think his only Grammy award came from one of those out. I think the third one of like singing these sentimental songs, and he's got this as do you. Raspy voice. We should make a list of the great raspy voice singers of all time. But he's got to be near the top, right? That's his whole thing.
Well, I mean, name another couple just so we have like an idea. Besides me, Rod Stewart,
Paul McCartney last night on that show.
Was it raspy?
No, it was. Unfortunately, it was. It was. But yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know, Billie Holiday or something like that. Like he's a raspy voice. Obviously, Tom Waits.
Yes,
obviously, who's the guy that wrote? Anyway, yeah. So he is a raspy voice singer. So when I first heard the name about Rod the Mod Stewart, he was the lead singer of the Jeff Beck group. Remember Jeff Beck?
Oh yeah,
The Yardbirds.
I've jammed with him.
Exactly. So after Beck
with
leaves the Yardbirds, he creates his own band, and the album is called Truth, which is have you done that album? It's got
no.
It's got to be on this list. Well, I mean, I don't know. I would just think it was so. And so, Ronnie Wood, who later became part of the Rolling Stones, is a big part of Rod Stewart's life. Like, he was the bass player in that band, not guitar player in Jeff Beck group. And so, and then one of my favorite, that's the first time I ever heard the voice. And it was like, again, this is the same year that Cream came out. All of these ex-Yardbirds guitar players started doing their own projects. 2 years later, obviously, Led Zeppelin, or actually a year later, Led Zeppelin 1 gets recorded. So it's a really fertile time for that scene in England. And those were the big guitar heroes, Beck, Clapton, and Page. And then, of course, Jimi Hendrix from over here, So that's the first time I heard him. And if you ever just want to listen to one song from that album, it would be Superstitious. I Ain't Superstitious. I think it's called I Ain't Superstitious.
I Ain't Superstitious.
No, that's the Stevie Wonder. It's it's incredible. And it's just Jeff Beck. It's just incredible. So, but the album is called Truth. Guitar players really know that album. I don't know how well it did over here, but my brother bought it, and so I listened to it, and that's the first time I heard the voice. Like, oh, this guy's got a pretty good voice. Here's the crazy pre-echo of what happens later in his career when he becomes this crooner guy. One of the songs on this album called Truth is he does Old Man River. Do you know that song?
Old Man River, right?
Yep. From Showboat, 1927. Again, this is I love all these old songs. So that's Jerome Kern. And
is that what you're listening to? Dude, you guys don't realize this? Like, Wayne's at the gym in his headphones while everybody else is listening to Metallica. He's listening to Wading in the Water, Wading in the Water now. Happy day. Oh.
I do like Spirit. I just like old songs. Even before, I feel like 1927 is a newer song. Like I
love from that era. Like,
tell me,
it's almost I'm gonna fuck up the name, but they're always in like the old horror movies. It's like if I didn't care.
Oh yeah.
That's
the Ink Spots. Yeah.
Oh my God,
very haunting, right?
Very haunting. And I've listened to on a drive. Like I've listened to their greatest hits. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
great
that lead
music.
Vocalist is incredible. Yeah. So anyway, but on Truth, Rod Stewart does a version of Old Man River. Here's a little bit of trivia before we get to this crazy great album.
Is it a sidebar?
No, it's just a little bit of information.
Okay, what's
just
the
information?
What do you
got? On that record, there's an organ player doing Old Man River. That's John Paul Jones, who later is a crazy session man at that time, becomes the bass player for Led Zeppelin, and playing timpani drums, the drummer from a band called The Who.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say Keith Moon for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I got
incredible.
The vibe. Yeah.
So it was like, and Jimmy Page is actually on that. Anyway.
Well, they all knew each other, right?
Yes.
They're in England. I mean, I'm assuming England's not a huge place. So I'm assuming the cream rises to the top, no pun intended. And they're all, Clapton and Jimmy Page, the Yardbirds is a big thing. So yeah, like I obviously, dude, rock stars all know rock stars. If you're in the industry,
it kind of reminded me a little of. I mean, they didn't make a big deal out of it as a collaboration, but like when hip hop artists collaborate, and like they're very into that. So
which I've said this, not many years on the podcast, but it was like that's what I love about jazz. Is that Miles will play with this guy and he'll play with that guy because he's like, I like the way you do that. And that doesn't mean that it's not.
Coltrane is on this album. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Rock stars don't do that much. When the rock stars do it, it's a super group and it's a big thing, like a Velvet Revolver or an Audio Slave or a.
Oh yeah.
or what's the one? Humble Pie. What's the one that everybody was like not Kenny Loggins, but it doesn't make a difference.
Well, I know
think
Blind Faith was one.
Blind Faith. That's
yeah,
what I was.
yeah,
Humble Pie, same thing. All right. So what were you saying? Good.
That's it. So that's the first time I heard him, and then I hadn't heard of him again until 71 when I didn't know this album. I just knew this single, Maggie May, which went to #1. By the way, this is the most fascinating thing. I'd love you to talk about it.
What is it?
That was the B-side of the single. That was
Maggie May?
Yes. He didn't think, no one thought much of that. They were just like, let's throw this thing on the B-side.
I mean, well, yeah, so I see it. Reason to Believe is the first single off it. So yeah, just so everybody knows, our record. I used to do this all the time, but I stopped doing it consistently. I'd always say, we'd be talking. I go, you know what? Let me take a second, just so everybody knows we're talking about Every Picture Tells a Story by Rod Stewart, released May 28th, 1971 by Mercury Records, produced by Rod Stewart. Yeah, so I got first single, Reason to Believe, Maggie May, and then second one, I Know I'm Losing You, which is a great song. And then obviously the opening track, Every Picture Tells a Story, which is phenomenal. Yeah.
No, I mean, there was a lot of great singles on, but that Maggie May, if there's, nothing about Rod Stewart, nothing about this album of his, is that would be, to me, his signature song, his most famous song that he did.
I think so.
That's his Close to You. That's his, like, this was the one that put him on the map. Way more than singing Old Man River.
Yeah. Even the Old Man River had some legs. I mean, it's generational.
I ain't superstitious. So he and it's a true story. I mean, it's based on a true story. It's about the woman who took his virginity, and then he expanded it like he was living with her and stuff. That it is so damn good. And here, if Rod Stewart's management is listening, and I hope they are, I don't know why that song hasn't been turned into like a movie or something like that, because there's so much information about it's sort of a flip on sexual, what the dynamics. He was just a teenager with that great head of hair, and then this older woman took advantage of him. And of course, if it's an older woman and a guy, no one cares.
No one gives a shit. We root them on.
Exactly. We high five him. Yeah. It's like, you're lucky. Rod was a lucky dude.
What's the biggest age difference that you ever had? Did you ever have an older woman? When I was in my 20s, I hooked up with a 45-year-old woman.
No, I never had anything like that.
No.
I don't want to. I tend to screw my age and younger. Yeah.
It's like but I mean, we were doing coke. She had coke back at her place, and she didn't take advantage of me. I mean, but I was adorable. I had a good head of hair back in the day. I had the frosted tips. I was a raver, so I had like the chain ball necklace. I looked like I was I can see that. in that band, that Steal My Sunshine band. Do you remember them? If you steal my sunshine, make my word believe. If you steal my sunshine.
Okay. I know Walking on Sunshine.
I'm walking. Did you ever watch the
what was her name? What was her name?
Walking on Sunshine?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
No, I don't. This is where we differ. This is where I like to, because I know it's in my I got it in my brain without looking at Katrina and the Waves.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah. I always try to not look things up, because obviously in 10 years we're all gonna be permanently hooked up. So while I'm living
the Neuralink, yeah.
Of course, it's got to. And so while I'm living in the analog world, I like to at least try to access that whatever file Katrina and the Waves is in my back of my head.
There's that show Intervention. There's one girl that was like addicted to huffing. She was huffing like cleaner and stuff, and she eventually.
How does that work? Do you put it?
No, you just take the muzzle and you put it up to your mouth and you just and you inhale it and your voice gets all like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I don't know. I'm assuming it's like when you do like nitrous. So you're just like wah, 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 wah. And she's so addicted to it, she's losing her mind. And then they interview her, and at one point she goes, I'm walking on sunshine. And so Brian, can you find this while we search the podcast? We'll end the podcast. Type in "Walking on Sunshine" intervention, and somebody cut together a song. You know, where it's like it's just her like, "I'm walking on sunshine." Whoa, I'm walking. It's hilarious.
Oh my God,
Brian, find that. That's how we end the pod. All right, back to Rod. Go ahead.
Oh no. But but that's the song. That is the Maggie May. But here's the question for you: it seems like the music industry is filled with people like George Martin when he first heard, one of those Beatles songs, like, that's a hit. That's your number one. And Mickey Most, like, I'm into something good with the Herman Sermons. And Clive Davis would hear, Whitney Houston go, that's a number one. How can you be that far off on Maggie May? Like, what do you think it is?
I don't know. It's a longer song, right? It's 5:50. Single version's only still 5:14.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe it was too long. Okay.
I gotta listen to the Reason to Believe. I think I listened to it on the record, but I don't really remember that one as much as I remember.
Like you.
Oh yeah. That's Reason to Believe.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I know that one.
Yeah.
Someone
By the way,
like you.
Yeah. And he kills it. By the way, sidebar.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
The Carpenters did a cover of Reason to Believe on Close to You, the album I just did with you.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Good song's a good song, man.
Tim Hardin. Yeah, that song is so good. And so that's a really good song. But Maggie May is, I think, just one of the great songs of the 70s. And also said something about Rod Stewart at the time was he was singing rock and roll, but there's a mandolin in that song. So there's like a country, there's a Southern kind of thing that's going on. Again, in England, they're doing all these songs, but
they're fascinated though by the American culture. So the folk music, the Bob Dylan, it's like that's the Beatles did. What are the Beatles? What was their folk record? Not Rubber Soul. Is it Rubber Soul?
Oh yeah. When they did, yeah.
So I mean, they influence us obviously, but they're taking all the shit that we're doing and they're doing stuff with it. So
no, but it was I just love the recording of it. I love his voice. I love the storytelling of it. I can't imagine there's a concert that he does to this day, and he's still touring, Rod Stewart. I was just looking at the thing that he's
playing with Billy Joel at Citi Field. Wow. So I'm gonna go to that because I've never seen Rod.
Okay, just be ready. He's a little Vegas-y. He might be a little Vegas-y. Can you handle it?
I'm hoping he takes it up to like 100. I want all of it. I want the showmanship. I want Tom Jones. So he's Tom Jones more than he's like,
not like that, not like a bump and grind guy, but just like the backup singers and you'll see. It's fine. It's great, but it's not the Rolling Stones. It's not like a rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's not a rock and roll. Even though he has these incredible rock songs. Can I also sidebar?
Hit me. All loud.
At the same time this album comes out, he's also the lead singer of another band.
Faces?
Yes.
Okay. Faces. So tell me I'm not confused, but I want to give it to me. Give me all the spiel.
No, I don't know. I don't know it was just, he was like, to me, when I learned about Rod Stewart, he just seemed like a vocalist for hire, is what he seemed like to me. Like,
okay,
he'll be in your band. He'll be in Jeff Beck's band. He'll do his own thing. He's got his own deal with Mercury Records. He's got, so that's what and eventually that's what became his career. Like, he would guest on other people's records, release his own songs, and he just would have hit, very much like the Carpenters, have hit after hit after hit. And then, unfortunately, he did a disco song called Do You Think I'm Sexy? Do you remember it?
Yeah, Bobby Lee sang that on the goddamn Comedy Jam TV show.
If you want my body
and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know. That's a great song, though.
Yeah. But I feel like he lost like some kind of rock credibility when he did that. Because
what about the Rolling Stones doing a disco song?
Yeah, I feel like they recovered.
Sure.
Yeah.
You saying Rob never did?
I don't know. I don't even know what Rod's vision was. He's in the Phase. They reunite every once in a while. He's in Jeff, but he basically likes to sing. And again, he can write songs, but it seems like he really likes just being a vocalist, like, I don't know, Nat King Cole or Sinatra or Tony Bennett or something like that. Like, he's from a different. He's just anyway. So he has all of these songs, but this is to me. I think everyone agrees, outside of one of his 8 greatest hits compilations.
Yeah,
this is the best record of him. If you really kind of want to know what put him on the map, no question.
So this is it. It's not Faces stuff.
No, Faces was never as big as this. But here's the thing: many people in Faces are on this Rod Stewart record, including Ronnie Wood before he leaves to join the Rolling Stones. And so it's, he was just it's a very bizarre. I can't think of anyone else. Can you think of anyone else who was fronted multiple bands during the same time period?
Oh man. No, I can't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be somebody.
And they're all successful?
They're relatively nothing like Maggie May was the #1 song in the country. And then that album, and that really pushed the album, and really, yeah. But
Wow.
But the biggest hit from Faces was maybe my second favorite Rod Stewart song, which is called "Stay With Me."
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh my God, the arrangement on that tune is so damn good. But then he had all, then he had all the Young Turks and all. I'm reading the list right here. Some guys have all the luck. Tonight's the night.
These are all Faces songs?
No, these are all Rod Stewart's hit singles. So he's very much like he's just like a vocalist who has these, and we put out these albums, and you look, they sold like 80 million copies, although some people say 120 million. It's always weird with the album sales, but he's one of the most successful artists on all of rock. But he is like a singer, not the lead singer of a specific band. In my opinion, that's what Rod Stewart is. And by the way, wanted to be a soccer player, what they call football over there.
I saw that. I see that he's always been into it. And it's so funny seeing him in the short shorts with his fucking weird hair.
Yeah.
Or as you call it, the best hair.
I love his hair. Love it.
Would
and
you
I
do
remember on the concerts, he used to kick soccer balls into the crowd.
Really?
Yeah. Like, just as a fun thing. Like, he is really into it. And
there's a lot of people. I mean, Liam Gallagher, most British people are into football.
Football, yeah.
Stewart inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 94. The UK, with Faces, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So in 06, the UK, second time inducted in 2012 with Faces. He had 10 #1 albums, 31 top 10 singles, 6 of which reached #1. All in the UK. Stewart has had 16 top 10 singles in the US, with 4 reaching #1 in the Billboard 100. Knighted in 2016.
Right, he is Sir.
Sir Rod
right.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Received a Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to Music and first ever Diamond Award from the World Music Awards, with over 100 million records sold worldwide. According to Stewart, James Brown called his music, he called him music's best white soul singer. I think that's George Michael. I think George Michael is the best white soul singer.
He's pretty good. George Michael's pretty good.
George Michael is really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about soul singers, because also, believe it or not, the guy from Hall & Oates, I guess it's Hall.
Yeah, dude, Daryl Hall. From Philly. From Daryl Hall.
Hall, yeah, he's a pretty good, because he used to do Temptation songs and stuff like that. Speaking of Temptation songs, there's one of those on the album, but I don't know. It's just beautiful. He's just got it's just a great vocal. He's just a great vocalist all the way around. And it's so weird that he has a new album of, standards again, like swing songs that he did with Jules, that guy from England, Jules, Jools. You don't know that guy?
I don't know that guy. Dude,
Oh man, there's a famous British music show where they have live acts go
Top
all
of the
around.
Pop. Oh, Jules Holland.
Jules
Yeah,
Holland.
I
that's
love
it.
Jules Holland. I love
Yeah,
Jules
yeah.
Holland. If nobody's ever watched that, like, there's so many great clips. 'Cause
I
he
know.
has
That show is
great. He
great.
has like 5 bands
Yep.
set up in a circle, and then each one does like, I guess they do 2 songs throughout the night. He's
Yeah.
like, let's give it up for Rod Stewart, and they turn to
Right.
the band, and then they get the light on them, and then they play. Dude, fucking studio records wise, I mean, this guy, I'm not counting him, but if you look at his Wikipedia, I mean,
Yeah.
he has got 30. I don't know, is it 30? Maybe 24? It's
Gotta
a
be
lot.
It's gotta be a lot. And a lot of them birthed these singles, birthed these songs. So
What's the one that I really like by him? The one that's like
Forever Young.
Someone like, wait, no, that's no, is it Someone Like You?
Young Turk?
Someone. What's the other song that sounds like Maggie May?
Oh,
What is that?
Tonight's the Night.
If I touch then that when I try. Is that? Oh, it is. Is that Reason to Believe? I guess that is Reason to Believe.
Yeah.
Someone Like You.
Very Southern.
That sounds very much like Maggie May, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the
Same
flip
record.
side.
Flip side,
Flip
sure.
side.
Oh yeah. I keep getting those. That's so confusing because I didn't know that was called.
I know,
Reason to
and you
Believe.
would think that song would be called "Someone Like You," right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a little
Oh.
tricky.
Looking at this, I mean, he really does have great hair. Who has better hair?
Thank you. I think Bowie has pretty good hair. Or
Bowie has incredible hair.
Yeah.
But it's changed throughout the years.
Of course.
Rod
Changes.
Rod has committed to whatever that is.
That's spiky. Yeah.
Is that mod?
Yeah, it's a very mod hairstyle, and sometimes he has a mod with a mullet addition.
You have to give him respect for that alone, that he's committed for 40 years, 50 years, maybe.
Might be 50 years now. Yeah.
I change my hairstyle constantly.
He's so good. But I can't wait for your review of him in concert with Billy Joel. I can't wait.
I hope it's good.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got the hits. I mean, and by the way, I saw him at Hollywood Bowl with special guest Jeff Beck before Jeff Beck passed away.
Wow.
And they did I Ain't Superstitious, and but they also did. They had a mild hit, maybe late 80s, early 90s of People Get Ready. People get ready. There's a train.
Oh, did we talk about that? Was that
no? Yeah, I mean we have. But I mean, I was not on the Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, that was with Godfrey, where I said,
yeah.
Black people are always talking about getting on trains.
Yeah,
what is it? It's always trains.
But they did a version of it that's incredible. Yeah, so and so they did that night. It was really, really fun. Really fun.
So I'm looking at his set list. He does Maggie May, Forever Young.
Yep. Let me hear what else.
He's doing Love Train by the OJs.
Wait, has he been touring with this show with Billy?
So this show is This is the one last time. This is September 13th, 2024.
Okay.
So this was a while ago. He played this at the Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. So probably like a minor league park. Having a Party by Sam Cooke. Great song. Having a party. Gonna have the Love Train.
He does that, the OJs thing?
By the OJs.
Yeah.
Have You Ever Seen the Rain by Creedence Clearwater?
Yeah,
and
this is what I'm talking about. His songs, he likes singing other people's songs. He just loves songs as opposed to like, oh, this is the Rod Stewart show. And it's all going to be Rod Stewart song. Keep going.
Sure.
Keep going.
Then, Forever Young.
Yes, that's Bob Dylan, by the way.
No, really?
Yes, that's a Bob Dylan song.
Bob Dylan said,
real name Robert Zimmerman is his real name. Yeah. I call him Bobby. I call him Bobby Zimmerman.
You call him Bobby? Have you ever seen him live?
Of course. I saw Bob B. You like Bobby Dylan?
Bobby D.
First time he ever played Vegas
Really?
at Bally's. I don't even, does Bally's even exist? I don't think it does.
I don't think so. I think they
Yeah,
wrecked
he
that
played
one.
Bally's. The first time he ever played Vegas. You know what I thought? I thought, why not? Why? You know, because it seemed like the antithesis of this folk singer and the, you know,
Sure.
but it was like, why not? There's fans in Vegas, and yeah,
Still, my favorite Bob Dylan thing is
Yeah.
is him singing on the "We Are the World."
Oh,
And
those
Stevie
clips.
Wonder has got to tell him how to do it. He sings Bob Dylan to his face.
It's unbelievable.
The other thing that was great was when Stevie Wonder was like, "Oh, we should add some like Kenyan."
Oh, yeah.
You know, some Kenyan singing. Merle Haggard's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here. I ain't singing no Jabuki shit," and just walked out. Forever Young, Tonight's the Night. Gonna Be All Right.
Tonight. Yeah, you know that one, right? That's a big hit.
How's that go?
Well, I hate to sing just the chord. Tonight's the night, gonna be all. Well, that's terrible. Forget
great.
I ever did that.
No,
but it's very
clip
catchy.
it. Clip it.
Catchy. Very
That's,
yeah, clip it. Get rid of that.
That's our. No, I was gonna say that's our Instagram clip.
Yeah.
It's Heartache by Bonnie Tyler. Then he does Maggie May. Then he does I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. He does the Young Turks.
Oh, well, he does do a soul song if he's doing Etta James. Yeah, yeah.
He does
Young Turks, that's one of his hits. Yeah.
He does the Downtown Train. Is that, you know, gonna leave here tonight? Is that Downtown Train?
I don't know. I think that's Tonight the Night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From 4 songs ago. From 4 songs ago.
Wait, how's it? On a downtown train. See you tonight. I guess that is Tonight's the Night.
I know you got a show you're doing in an hour. What else is on the set list? I'm very curious about.
I'm going. Downtown Train. The Rhythm of My Heart. I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm talking about.
Lady Marmalade.
Oh, he does that?
Does Lady Marmalade, Rhythm of Her Heart. First Cut is the Deepest, Cat Stevens. He does Have I Told You Lately. That was a big song for him though, right?
Yeah.
If I Told You Lately, I remember that.
Yeah, for the ladies. For the ladies.
For the ladies. He does oh, dude, you're gonna trip out. He does It Takes Two by not Rob Bass and Easy Rock. He does it. I don't know who that is. That's Kim something. And then he does Some Guys Have All the Luck.
God damn.
And then
guess what? He's one of those guys.
Why do you think that? Just for his career, or just like he's had incredible lovers,
like incredible thing that he looked that good. He had the hair, he had the voice, and he hooked up with the right producers and songwriters.
What do you think he closes with? I mean, you take a guess. What do you think he's closing with?
Well, I'm hoping it's Stay With Me.
Nope.
No, god damn it.
He's not playing it. He's not playing it.
Oh no.
He's not even on the set list.
Okay, let me think. Hot Legs? Do You Think I'm Sexy?
It's Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Yeah. The song, that's him right to the critics. Like, you didn't like this? Guess what? I'm gonna close.
Well, hold on. Let's see. I want to see, like, if you go to his Spotify, Rod Stewart. We always Dark Lord Spotify. Rod Stewart. He's getting 11 million monthly listeners. Yep. #1 song is not Maggie May. It's Do You Think I'm Sexy with almost 350 million streams.
Oh, there you go.
I like Morty. Morty turned me on to Sailing.
Yeah. Sailing is also,
He turned me on to that.
Ballad. Yep.
Yeah. Have I Told You Lately? It's all on there. Young Turks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Do You Think I'm Sexy is his big thing. Chris, he's got a Christmas
Because it's
record.
a dance song. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably, I'm assuming the audience is just women
nuts
in their late 50s, early 60s, that'll fucking lube themselves up and let him have their way.
And Engelbert Humperdinck style. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my grandmother used to think Perry Como. She would have fucked Perry Como in a second. Was he good looking, Perry Como, or is he just like a regular dude?
He was like he was very he was like Karen Carpenter. He was an up close, very intimate kind of singer. So women loved him. They thought it was like whispering in your ear kind of singing. Very casual. The whole joke about him was like whenever people did jokes about him, they would start singing and then fall asleep. Like that was like sort of that's how, or if they cut to him, he's lying on a couch.
Yes,
Really,
that was like I think it was
What was
Saturday
that?
Saturday Night Live or
Yeah,
somebody did a sketch about that.
Yeah, that was very cool. I mean, as relaxed can be.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
God, it's so crazy. All these guys that we love now, they're all just going to start slowly. They're all going to that's why you have to go see Rod Stewart now. That's why you have to go see Billy Joel now. Dude, that's why.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's 82. Still putting on a show, though. Putting on a show.
If I'm not mistaken, born June 1942.
I'm not even going to check that because I know you're right.
Yeah.
I know you're right. I'm not going to make you look bad if you're wrong. You said it confidently.
I did. He's
go ahead.
Yeah. He's not the youngest Beatle. That's George. Is George.
The second one to die. But I bet John Lennon would still be alive today, though.
Yeah. John is a few months younger than Ringo was. Ringo's the oldest.
When he played Drive My Car, Wayne, there was as much of a mosh pit that you could call it. Everybody started jumping. Burr started jumping. Burr was smiling ear to ear. I really would have loved if he played. I wanted Band on the Run so bad.
Oh yeah,
he didn't do Band on the Run. He did do. He did do
Lady Madonna. He did Lady Madonna, right?
Did Lady Madonna. He also did Let Me Roll It.
That's almost in every concert he does. That's I feel like outside of Live and Let Die and Band on the Run, that's like his favorite Wing song. That song is so good.
I mean, that was
the guitar. So good. Yeah.
I mean, I brought it up to us, and because I said I wanted to talk about it when we do the thing, but it's like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame put out their list.
Listen, we're getting near your heart out. So
I know we've got. That's what I'm saying. We got 8 minutes.
Okay, well, let's do the final thing. Your final question to make.
All right, let's do those. All right, what's your? Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me see if there's any. Because JT's not here, so I don't think there's really anything we need. I think we covered everything that we need to cover for this episode. What's your favorite song? It's got to be Maggie May, right?
Of course, you know me.
Yeah,
you're inside my brain. I don't even have to talk. Say anything.
Is there anything you skipped over?
Well, I don't love Seems Like a Long Time in Mandolin Wind are the ones I would say. But he does do a great version of That's All Right, Mama, the old Elvis. I know it is an Elvis tune, but it's a
he does. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, he really does have a strong voice. There's a reason. And what's good about a singer like him is when you have that raspy voice at a early age.
Yeah,
he's hitting high notes, but it's already raspy. So the older he gets, it just adds more character to it. Yeah.
Well, I'd be curious when you see him in concert, what you think. But those are the two. Again, these are this is a great album. This album, I think, went to number one. But it was driven by the success of Maggie May.
Here, I'm looking to check the statistics. Hold on.
Then I'm Losing You. Do you know that song at all?
I'm Losing You.
That is
I'm Losing You.
Yeah, it's an old Temptation song.
Yeah.
That's a great version.
Great version of it.
Yeah.
So this is the only Rod Stewart record we're talking about on the pod. Doesn't say anything about Faces, but
no.
On the 2020 re-rank, this actually dropped only 5 spots, so it didn't go too far.
Right.
It doesn't say the sales for this, but it was a number 1 record. That's what you said, right?
I'm not sure about that, but I know it was close, and I know it was huge album, and I know it put them on the map, especially here in the United States.
I'm looking right now. Hold on. It went to number 1, both UK and the US, and finished 3rd in poll by the Jazz and Pop.
No, I do remember. 1971 was his year. He was the rock guy of the year. he could sing rock, he could be sensitive, like vocally, he was just people went nuts over him in this year. It came out in 70 or 71.
71. And here's
Yeah.
crazy thing. Everybody from Faces plays on this record.
Rod, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got
Wood.
Pete Sears, you got Ronnie Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and then just a sidebar.
All out.
Ronnie Wood, of course, ends up leaving Faces to join the Rolling Stones.
Yes, he does.
Replacing
Brian Jonestown, who died, right?
No. Brian Jonestown is already gone. Mick Taylor, who was back to John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, the guy that took Eric Clapton's place. So that dude.
Dude, it's there should be a board up, like one of those like
crazy,
those crazy serial killer boards, and it's like it all goes to Daniel Lanois. It all leads up to Daniel Lanois.
Yeah, so it would be great if it all led to Professor Longhair.
Oh, yeah, okay, even funnier. Yeah, that's why you've been comedy longer than I have. It all comes to Bobby Blue Bland.
To Bobby. But no, he's still kicking it, and I can't wait for you to see the show. So thank you for asking me to do this. I was
wait. Whoa.
Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye.
I'll clean it up for you. I'm going to clean it up for you.
Yeah.
Can you make out to this record?
Of course.
Can you neck? Or heavy pet?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's someone like you. Come on, you can say that right in their ear. It would be great. Yeah. Not to maybe I'm losing you, but definitely to that song. So funny they thought that was going to be the hit, which is, and it is a good version of it. Don't get me wrong.
Great version of it, but it's not the song. It's not the song. The song.
But that's I have to say that's one of my favorite things in music is when the people that produce know music, live, it's in their veins. They don't even know what the hit song is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just smacks you right in the face. And
of course,
like,
most of the time it does. Yeah,
well, that's why I loved Motown. Is that Motown? You know, they would sit in a room and they would say, they go, all right, they listen to the record. They go, what's the hit? They go, is this a hit? This is what they think is a single. Is this a hit? And then they would all vote. And if it didn't get the majority, they wouldn't make it a hit. I love, dude. That was one of my favorite tours ever. Was going to that Motown. I had this phenomenal, like very flamboyant gay tour guide. Mm-hmm. He was just big and black, and I love it. I love an overweight. I love any overweight black individual. They're always great, but I love like female has got the sass, and the gay has the sass too.
I always feel like because there's a little bit of or a lot of like anti-gay stuff in the black community. So if you are black and gay and decide to come out, it's always like a 10.
Yeah.
It's not like a subtle,
I don't give a shit. Like, fuck all y'all.
Exactly.
I'll suck a dick right here. They really do have
really
the sass.
Beautiful. It's really beautiful.
What would be, how do you explain this record to somebody? What's your elevator pitch?
Well, one of the great vocalists of the later parts of the 20th century, a guy named Rod Stewart, who sold, and there's many great vocalists. There's Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. There's many. I put him in that category. A great vocalist who not only covered old-fashioned songs, old-timey songs, but also was at the but this is the album for it. If you only want to know one thing about Rod Stewart, you want to know anything about Rod Stewart, it's Maggie May. And now, based on what you just told me, I hate to say it, but it might be Do You Think I'm Sexy? Like the song that he got so much criticism from. People love that song. And it's a banger, right? Like you can dance.
You can hear you know why it's catchy. It's yep. It's the same thing. It's just like it's like a cult. That chord. Oh, yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
great song. It's
the
a great
synth,
song.
the synthesizer. Yeah.
It's a great song.
So anyway, and he stood the test of time. He's still
Mhm.
selling out big arenas. It's not stadiums unless he's touring with somebody named Billy Joel from Long
Island. Here, let's do this. I don't want to do the top because we can, but I feel like we got to talk about that with Morty, even though Morty gets mad about it. He gets mad talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, it's just misnamed now. It should
is.
be called what?
The Pop Music Hall of Fame.
I don't even think that's right. I think it's Music We Like Hall of Fame.
Music that Jan Werner.
Yeah, it's like Music We Like Hall of Fame, and it's too bad, but it's fine. It's fine. I like celebrating music. I like being part of preserving legacies of music.
So do I. I really
does
do.
that. I'm all for it. Whatever. They messed up with the original title. They realized they were boxed in, that it was mainly going to be white guys, except for Bobby Blue Bland and all of the, all of the with influencers.
Professor Longhair. We got to get him in. Is he in? He's in, right?
I think so. But it's all the influencers. And then it was like, oh, all right. We got to cut to Madonna and Mary J.
They got to sell tickets. They got to sell tickets.
You got to sell tickets.
You got to sell tickets, dude.
It's a business. It's a business.
There's a reason that Jeremy Piven will get a improv spot over me. It's like you got to sell tickets. All right. So Bad Company, Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Joy Division, Cyndi Lauper, Maná, Oasis, Outkast, Fish, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. I have never been more confident that this is the year that Soundgarden will get in. I gotta believe.
Yeah, they're a guitar band, right?
Yeah, they're a guitar band. He's one of the greatest rock and roll lead singers of all time. Died, sad death. Had a but incredible career. Outkast, Audio Slave, and I think.
Wait, he died free.
He killed himself.
He killed himself.
Yeah, I think it was autoerotic, but they don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the worst kind of erotic, right?
That is, the autoerotic. And if you ever want to hear a good joke about it, it's the king is Norm Macdonald. Has a great joke about hanging yourself, and it's like it's either to end the pain of this lonely world or or to whack off. I think who I picked, I said Outkast when I said Soundgarden, Oasis, Cyndi Lauper, Billy Idol. I think Mariah Carey's probably going to get in, but I would say, did I say Joy Division too?
Yeah.
New Order? Yeah. And then, and I think I picked, did I do Outkast? Yeah. I don't know, man. Who do you think?
Well, I like the rock act, so that's where I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead with all of that. I mean, how is Billy Idol not?
I know and Cyndi Lauper too.
I don't think of her as a rock act.
And Chubby Checker. You would think with the twist alone,
I know
he should have been in years ago in one of like the early 90s inductions. I don't think the Black Crowes, their first ballot this year, they're not getting in. Fish, I said the same thing.
They're not getting in. By the way,
not yet. Not this year. Not this year.
Too hard to handle. Too difficult to handle.
The Black Crowes. Yeah. Oh, did you read that book?
No.
Oh my God. Wayne, and this is I didn't even, dude. Yeah. So I'll say this and then we'll end it and then I'll get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. So they did a tour with if nobody's read the book, read the book. The book is phenomenal. Steve Gorman, the former drummer, wrote an expose. So they do 3 records. They're starting to fall off, and out of nowhere, Jimmy Page, who's jammed with them, and Robert Plant or something, like really takes a liking to them, and he's like, I want to do these shows, and I want you guys to be a part of it. And they're like, we're in. And so they do like 6 shows. I think the Greek, they did a couple in New York.
I saw the Greek one.
Yeah. So they recorded that one. And it became a live record. And then they release it. And dude, because of those shows, Jimmy offers them a fucking world tour, like 50 or 60 dates all around the world, sold out, co-headlining, or on the off night, they'll be using the same crew as The Who. So Jimmy Page, the Black Crowes one night, the next night The Who, then they go to another city. It's a dream come true. It's a cream dream, dude. And Jimmy loves them, and he's doing all the interviews, and so they do the Tonight Show. Oh, by the way, and the Black Crowes, because of the hype, they get the record deal ends with whoever it was, and they get offered 5 records, $5 million. It's a great deal by Virgin Records.
By the way, they had already had hits before this.
They did. They did.
Yeah.
But
they had that. Yeah,
but they were falling off. Grunge came out. You know, they weren't.
Okay.
They're not a hair metal band, but you know, they're a rock and roll band. But you know, Southern rock, but they're falling off. So they need this deal. And they signed the record deal. They agree to do the tour. Jimmy is like a little kid playing with them. He's like, he says to him, he's like, I've never been this happy since I played with Led Zeppelin. Cut to, they do the Tonight Show. And after the Tonight Show, Steve Gorman hears from the manager of his band, and he goes, Jimmy left. They're like, why? He goes, well, I forgot to mention, he was having back issues. And they got this guy to fix his back. And he was acting weird before the back got fixed. Then the back got fixed. He did the show, and he's the happiest guy in the world. But he leaves the tour. He says, no, I'm done. He cancels the whole tour because of his back. And then they just go about it. And I guess it was like Steve Gorman quits the band a few years later, and he sees Jimmy is playing in London with all these famous people. So he's like, well, I'm going to go. I'll go say hi to Jimmy because they always got along. And he sees him, and Jimmy's so happy to see him. And he's like, yeah, man, you left so suddenly. I didn't get to say goodbye. It was your back, right? And Jimmy goes, well, yes, I had back surgery and I needed it, but can I tell you something else? And Steve Gorman's like, you have to also know the dysfunction of the two brothers. Like they are horrible.
Right.
Horrible.
Like the Kinks or Oasis.
Yes, but I think even worse than them. Even
worse. Okay.
Because they had mentioned something about how they wanted to get back to playing their own songs. I think they hated Jimmy getting all the light and their egos and blah blah blah. And so Jimmy says
they played mainly Zeppelin songs at that show.
I know. But egos, dude, egos. So he says to him, "Can I tell you something else?" And Steve Gorman, the way he writes it, he's like, my stomach just dropped because I knew what was coming. And he goes, so after the Tonight Show, I was glowing and I was like, man, I love these guys so much and I want to help them. And I've got all these ideas and I don't feel like waiting until we're in the tour bus. I want to go talk to him right now. So he goes to Rich Robinson's dressing room and he says, Rich, listen, I know how important this next record you guys put out is. So let me help you. Like I'll write a song with you guys. I'll play on it. Not write it. I'll produce the song for you. I'll play on it. He's like, and then we'll do another tour and I'll go on tour with you guys and we'll do songs and we'll do all the interviews together. I'll do magazines with you, photo shoots, whatever you guys need. I love you guys that much. He's like, and then,
oh no,
dude, he's like, I've got all of these riffs that I wrote for Robert Plant that he didn't want to use. So how about me, you and your brother sit down and we work these out and we write some songs together, like real rock and roll songs. And like I said, we'll make an album and we'll do this and I'll put my name on it and I'll co-sign you guys and you guys will be huge because I want to make sure this next record is a big thing for you. And Rich Robinson goes, nah, I'm good, man. He's like, we've already got a bunch of songs that we've written. We don't need yours. And doesn't say anything else. Just says that. And Jimmy Page goes, fuck this guy. I know who I am and I know and he goes, this guy mopes on stage every night. You know what I mean? Can't find the enjoyment. He's like, fuck this dude. And he fucking just he doesn't even pack his shit up. He just leaves, gets on a flight to England and that's it. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that kill you that Jimmy fucking Page says, I want to help you. It's like the biggest comic in the world being like Carlin saying to you, I want to help you. Like, I
know. It might be an ego thing, or maybe they didn't like.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, that's heartbreaking. That's
heartbreaking.
Crazy? I know one of the shows they did was in Jones Beach in New York. Yeah. It was, that album is incredible. And awesome. They do one of the songs they do is the old Yardbirds Shapes of Things. They do that song. That's the song that Eric Clapton was like, I'll play on the record, and then I'm quitting the band because this is not what I want to play. And I love that song.
I
So
love it.
again, all back to Yardbirds, all back to
Oh.
Yardbirds, and then Professor Longhair, and then Bobby Blue play after.
It's all connected to long hair, dude.
Yeah, it's
Promote away, dude.
Well, the big thing, and you mentioned it earlier, is I'm working on I'm allowed to say it now, producing with Judd Apatow a documentary on Norm Macdonald. So I've been doing a lot of interviews with people from Ottawa, and that's where he started doing stand-up, and then Toronto, before he even came to America. So I'm loving it, and it's going to be incredible. It's on Netflix.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So it's I love that guy. I knew him not well, but knew him enough. I have some text messages from him.
Oh.
They may make it into the doc. I
Do
doubt
it.
it. I doubt it.
One of my biggest regrets is I got offered to open for him at Mark Ridley's in Michigan, and there's no money. It would have been the flight would have basically been what I made, and I turned it down. And I wish I would have I didn't even think about because I was just broke. So it was like the idea of not making any money. But dude, just to be able to hang out with a goddamn legend like that would have been everything.
What a cool guy. Anyway, but very troubled guy. Here's a little thing: never drove.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know he was a degenerate gambler.
Yes,
he says it.
His Mark Maron is one of the greatest. I mean, it's so heartbreaking to listen to that Maron. It's Mark does an incredible job getting him to open up about that. It's just beautiful.
I'm gonna listen to that probably tonight. Then I got to split.
Later, brother.
I will. I'll reach out to you about Morty and stuff. We'll set that up, and if we'll do it soon. Okay, don't worry.
Break a leg tonight.
Thank you, buddy.